Okay, imagine this. You're building a game and you need to keep track of your score, your health, or even the number of coins that you have collected. But how do you make the computer remember all that? The answer is variables. Welcome back, everybody, and today we are diving into the magic of variables and data types in Lua, the foundation of how programs store and manage information. Whether it's tracking your high score or saving your favorite snack, you're about to learn how to bring your code to life. So, first of all, what are variables in Lua? Let's start with the basics. Variables in real life are the things that you can change or keep track of. For example, your age is a variable because it changes every year. Another example is the score of your favorite video game. And fun fact, this legendary game, that is Cuphead, was made using Love 2D, which is a 2D game engine that utilizes Lua for its scripting. So I think that is pretty amazing how you can use Lua to program something like this. Well, use Lua and things associated with Lua, like Love 2D. Well, moving on to variables, a variable is like a container where you can store values. Think of it as a box where you can keep your values that your program can utilize later. And in Lua, declaring variables is super simple. You just need to write the name of the variable, followed by an equal sign, and then the value you want to store. So I'll demonstrate the syntax using our Codin's compiler. So codin.com, and then you can click on more. We have a new feature called Codin Labs. You guys can check it out right here. For this episode, we'll be using the compiler. So we'll be working with Lua. And then let's remove this code right here and declare our variable. So we'll use the local keyword, and I'll tell you what this is about in a while. So the name of our variable will be my variable equals 10. So local means the variable is locally scoped to the current block of code. So since we are not dealing with blocks of codes right now, you don't have to worry too much about that, and we'll explore this local keyword later. For now, you have to understand that my variable is the name of the variable and 10 is the value that we assign to the variable or that we store in the variable. If you are still curious about the keyword local, this keyword is used in Lua to create variables that only exist within a specific block of code, or like a loop or a function. So this is important for keeping things organized and avoiding accidental changes to the variables outside of its scope. So let's play with some variables. Let's look at a real life example. Imagine you are keeping track of the number of likes on your latest social media post. You could store the number of likes in a variable. So I'll change this name to local likes, and let's say you have 100 posts on your like. Let's be generous. And if you want to print out this variable, we can use the concept of string concatenation. So your post has, we'll use the concatenation operator, that is dot dot, and then likes, and then dot dot again, since we want to join another string that says likes, likes, an exclamation mark. So let's run this and see what it outputs to. Your post has 100 likes. Now if we keep this space right here, it should output to space 100 likes. Now imagine this post gets more and more likes. You could easily update that variable in this manner. So likes equals to likes. Let's say your post has gained 50 more likes. So likes plus 50. Now if we copy this same line of code below this variable updation, or updating the variable, we'll be able to see that the like count will be upgraded to 150 likes. So you just updated the value of likes from 100 to 150. Now, since we have a decent idea about what variables are, let's discuss about data types in Lua. Variables can store different types of data, and each type has its own values. In Lua, the common data types include numbers at first. So numbers are the data types that stores, well, numbers, integers or floating points. And another data type is string, which stores a sequence of characters, that is a string. In this context, hello world is a string. the Boolean data type stores true or false values, and the table, that is tables in Lua, stores collections of data like arrays or dictionaries, and the function data type stores functions, and the nil data type, this data type is a bit special. It represents the absence of a value like nothing or empty. So let's look at each one in detail. First of all, our number data type, which we just discussed in an example right here, and I'll showcase the number data type with another example. So let's see local, our age is 25, and this right here, and this is how you comment in Lua, by the way, 2 dashes, and then you can write your comment. So this is an integer, and local height equals 5.9, let's say, and this is a float or a decimal. So the number data type consists of both integers and floats, and let's see how they are displayed by printing each one out. So print age, and let's join age, and then print height, and then height. So let's run this. It outputs to age 25 and height 5.9. And fun fact, Lua actually doesn't differentiate between integers and floats. It just treats all the numbers as floating point. So there's no need to worry about choosing the right type. And moving on to string, let's create a string called greeting. So greeting equals to hello, let's say name, and we'll create our name variable right here. So local name equals, let's say, Sam. So we even did this in our previous video. I'm just going to showcase how this works. Print and then greeting. So if I'm correct, this should output to hello Sam. So hello Sam. Now of course there's no space. I always forget a space. Hello Sam. And this is how strings and string concatenation works. Moving on to booleans, it's just true or false values. A boolean can only hold one of two values, which is true or false. And this is useful when you want to make decisions in your code. We'll explore this more in the next episode, which is related to control structures. Now here is an example, or a teaser of the next episode, let's say. So let's say we create a local variable called is raining. Now this can be either true or false. Let's set this value to false, and we'll say if is raining, then print better bring an umbrella, else it should print it's a sunny day. So, and after a conditional statement, we should print out end and then run this code. So since our is raining value is set to false, this outputs to it's a sunny day. If this condition is true, that is if raining is true, then it should output to better bring an umbrella. So this is a teaser of how conditional statements work. You have the if keyword, our condition to be true or false, our then keyword, and after that our condition or our code to be executed if the condition is true. Now I gave you this teaser to demonstrate how booleans work. It can either output to true or false. Moving on to tables, that are the ultimate data collection tool. A table in Lua is a collection of values. Tables are super important because they can act like arrays, dictionaries, or objects. Pretty much everything you need in one. And here's an example of a table, like an array. So I'll remove this. local fruits equals a set of curly brackets, and then apple, banana, and then cherry. Now, like arrays in pretty much many programming languages, we can access these values through indexing. So fruits, and then 1 outputs 2. I want you guys to guess what it would output to. Now, we have been taught on and on in many programming languages that arrays always start with the indexing of 0. But in Lua, that is not the case. In Lua, arrays start with the indexing of 1. So this should output to apple and not banana. So it outputs to apple. And this is just an example of how tables can be used as arrays. You can even use tables as key and value pairs like a dictionary. So if I were to change this name to person and then have a key called name, so name, and then I would have to use equals to, and then Alice. Remove all of this, and then age equals 30, and job equals developer. Now, if you are familiar with dictionaries in Python and JavaScript, you might have noticed that we did not use the colon symbol, and instead we use equals to symbol to assign values to our keys. In this case, all of the variables in our left are the keys, and the values on the right are our values. So if we want to access a specific value, we have to write the name of the dictionary and then the key. So print person.name should output to Alice. So it outputs to Alice. It might be clear from this example that tables are incredibly flexible and super useful, which is why they are used for so many things in Lua. Now let's move on to another data type, that is functions. You can store functions as variables too, and here's an example. If you type out local greet equals to the keyword function and then our parameter, that is name, and write it as return hello dot dot name and then end. This end symbolizes the end of the function, and this return returns the value. And you might be familiar with the term of parameters, which is the values that we pass into a function that is defined here. And when we actually call the function and pass in values, it is called an argument. So greet, and if I wanted to pass my name as an argument, I would type out Sam. So greet Sam. This should output to hello Sam. So hello Sam. And this is just the beginning and just a simple example. We'll dive deeper into functions in later episodes, but for now, understand that functions can be treated just like any other data type in Lua. And our last data type for this video is the nil data type. Sometimes you may want to remove a value from a variable or just indicate that something doesn't exist. You can do this using nil. If I were to type out a variable, let's say a number, age is 25, and if I wanted to remove this value of 25, I would type out age equals nil. And if I print out age, it will output to nil. So there's that. So that was it for the data types that we are going to be discussing today. But before episode 3, we have a task or a challenge for you guys. You are to create a shopping list program which might use a table to store items and their values. And you are to calculate the total price of all the items on your shopping list. So this is a pretty mildly challenging task, but you'll have fun doing it. So we hope that you guys complete this task, and if there is any confusion, you can always leave a comment. So In this episode, we explored variables, different data types, and how to use them in Lua. And in the next episode, we're going to be diving into the topic of operators and expressions, so make sure you tune in for that. If you liked the video, make sure you drop a like and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. And we'll see you guys in the next one.